What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel today. We're back with yet another video here. Obviously, I'm going to be grading every move that happened here with the, at the trade deadline. And obviously, I'm going to be talking about the moves here. I'll tell you what I think. I'll give you my grade, so we're going to be doing that. So if you guys like these kind of videos, remember, leave a like, subscribe to the notification bell, hit me up on Snapchat. Add my socials in my bio, so let's get into this here. But yeah, so obviously the Bruins, I'm going to start off in the Atlantic here. Actually, you know what? No. Yeah, we'll start off in the Atlantic with the Boston Bruins, and they traded for Brad Marchand, and they traded Brandon Carlo at the deadline, which I do believe is a great move. They got a lot back for those players. They got Fraser Minton and a couple draft picks in return. And then the Brad Marchand trade, they got a ton of picks back. So they basically they got a lot of picks back. Overall, I'm giving them a C- just because of the fact that this is a team that they should. I mean, who knows? And then now the Panthers, obviously the Panthers brought in Brad Marchand for a conditional 2027 pick. They brought in Seth Jones, Chris Trieger. They brought in a lot of guys. Vitek Vanacek from San Jose. They brought in Nico Sternum from the Sharks. So that's all they did. So obviously, I'm gonna give them the defending Stanley Cup champions got even better, and now they get an A plus. The Buffalo Sabres are next, and they brought in Dylan Cousins. No, they brought in Josh Norris, Jacob Bernard Docker. They brought in Eric Brandstrom and Nicholas Abe Krubel. That's all they did. That's pretty much all they did. But other than that, so they did pretty good, the Sabres. So I'm giving them a B. Now who else is in that? Canadians. The Canadians are next, and they did nothing. An F. They didn't do anything, and they didn't improve their team at all. So I'm giving them an F. The Detroit Red Wings are next. They brought in Peter Mrazek, and Craig Smith from the Blackhawks for Joe Veleno. They brought in, they were involved in the Yanni Gourde and, the Yanni Gourde trade, in the Oliver Bjorkstrand trade from Tampa. So that was a 3-team trade. So that was, overall, I'm giving them a C-. All right, now who else is in that? The Senators are next. And they acquired Fabian Zetterlund. They brought in Tristan Robbins. They brought in Zach Ostapachuk, Noah Gregor, and that's all they did. So overall, I'm giving them a B- there. The Lightning are next. And they brought in Yanni Gord, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Kyle Auckland, Michael Isamont. They brought in Cam Atkinson. No, they didn't. Wait, they brought in Yanni Gord, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Michael Isamont, Kyle Auckland, and draft picks. Overall, I'm giving them a B there. And then we have the Detroit Red Wings. Nope, we just did them. Nope. I did them. Who was it? The Toronto Maple Leafs are next. They brought in Scott Laughton. They brought in Brandon Carlo, Reese Johnson. They brought in Reese Johnson. So overall, I'm giving them a B. So wait, did I hit every team? Yes, I did. All right, now onto the Metro here. The Canes are next, and they brought in. They did a decent deadline. They brought in Mark Jankowski, and they were in a tough situation with Mikko Rantanen, so they ended up trading him to Dallas, so I'll talk about here in a bit. But overall, they're getting a C. They also did, and then also in the Columbus is next. They brought in Luke Kunin from the Sharks, and that's pretty much it. So I'm giving them a C there. The Devils are next, and they brought in Brian Dumoulin. They brought in Cody Glass, Jonathan Gruden, Daniel Sprong. They brought in Mark McLaughlin from Boston. They were busy. Dennis Cholowski from the Islanders. They brought in a lot, so 7 pieces there. They improved their team. I kind of like their deadline. They brought in. Didn't they also bring in Daniel? Yeah, did I say Daniel Sprong? I feel like they did. Yeah, they also brought in Daniel Sprong, so like 7. I like their offseason, their deadline. They got better. They're already even good. I don't know what they're 34, 25, and 6. They're definitely in a playoff spot. I'm giving them an A. And then you have the Capitals are next. And I don't know if the Capitals did anything. I didn't pay attention much to the Capitals deadline. I don't think they did, which is fine because they're 42, 14, and 8. They brought in Beauvillier from Pittsburgh. That was it. That was all they did. So they literally get a C- there. The Islanders are next, and they brought in Oliver Shillington, and that's it. That's all they did. Oh, they brought in Scott Prunovich. I forgot about that. And yeah, that's all they did. So 2 moves they made. They made the move for Scott Prunovich early in the year, like in January. So I'm giving them a C there. The Rangers are next. Who was that? The Ottawa Senators. I did them. The Rangers are next. And they brought in JT Miller. That's all they did. Did they just bring in JT Miller? They brought in Brendan Bryson from Vegas for Riley Smith. Again, that's all they did, so 2 moves. So I'm giving them a C. Did I miss a team? Capitals? Hold on, let me see. Flyers and the Penguins are next. Flyers and then the Penguins and then the Flyers. Flyers. Let's do the Flyers next. The Flyers, they brought in Nikita Grabenkin and some draft picks. They're rebuilding, so that's all they did. So 2 moves there, draft picks and Nikita Grabenkin. Never heard of him. Giving them an F. The Penguins are next. They brought in who did they bring in? They brought in, a lot of draft picks. They brought in Luke Schenn, who they then traded to Winnipeg. They brought in Connor Dwyer. They brought in, who else? Connor Timmins. They brought in, what's his name? They brought in Tommy Novak. They brought in, they sent a lot of guys out the door there. And they brought in Max Graham, Chase Tillman, Connor Dwyer, Connor Timmins, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to give them a C- on that end. And then now we have Chicago is next. Blackhawks are next. And they brought in, who did they bring in? Joe Veleno. They brought in, that's it, really. They just brought in Joe Veleno. So they brought in Spencer Knight and Joe Veleno. And overall, I'm giving them a C. And then I'm going to do, alright, Dallas is next. And they brought in a lot of guys. They have brought in Michael Gronlund, Cody Ceci. They brought in they traded Logan Stankoven and then some draft picks to the Canes for Mikko Rantanen. So they brought in Mikko Rantanen, Michael Granlund, Cody Ceci. They brought in, so that's pretty much it. I'm giving them an A. I'm giving them another A. Then the Predators are next. They brought in, what did they do? They brought in Michael Bunting for Luke Schenn and Tommy Novak is who they sent to Pittsburgh, who came to Pittsburgh. And then obviously we know that they brought in Jesse Alonen for Anthony Angelo. They brought in, so overall, I'm giving them a C-, on that. The Blues are next. And the Blues, surprisingly, the Avs are next. Jeez, I skipped over the Avs. The Avs, they brought in Charlie Coyle, Casey Middlestat, William Zellers. They acquired Eric Johnson from the Flyers for Giovanni Smith. They brought in Ryan Lindgren, Jimmy Vesey, Nick Kampf. And they brought in, that's pretty much it. So they brought in, they made like a ton of moves. They upgraded even better. I really like their additions. I really like their moves here. Obviously, they did lose Mikko Rantanen. That's going to hurt early. But yeah, so I'm giving them an A because they had a good offseason or a good deadline. The Blues stood pat. The Utah Hockey Club is next. And they brought in, Blues did nothing. I'm giving them an F. Because they didn't do anything. They brought in Shea Weber, Victor Soderstrom, and Aku Ratty. What else did they do? Anything else? No. They brought Sam Walker in for future consideration, so that's 4 moves right there. So, I'm giving them a C. The Winnipeg Jets are next. And they brought in Luke Shen, Brandon Tanev. They brought in Jacob Julien. No, they didn't. Chris Driedger. And that's pretty much it. So 3 moves right there. They're getting an A. The Wild are next. I don't know if I did the Wild. Yes, but I am about to. They brought in Gustav Nyquist. They brought in... That's pretty much it, right? They brought in Sam Walker. They brought in Ty Madden for Joe Saccone to the Kings. That's it on them, so giving them a C. And then the Anaheim Ducks are next. And they brought in Herman Traff, never heard of him. They brought in Oliver Shillington. They brought in, that's it. Is that it? Yeah, Shillington and Herman Traff and some draft picks. That's it. Giving them a C-. Who's next? The Flames. They didn't do anything, right? No, so I'm giving them an F, the Flames, because they're sucking. They brought in, no, right now the Oilers are next. They brought in Jake Wallman. They brought in Trent Friedrich, Max Jones, Peter Hauser. They brought in, is that all? And some draft picks. So I'm giving them a B+. Our next team is going to be the Sharks, in which they probably had a terrible. Okay, they acquired Zach Ostapachuk, Noah Gregor. They brought in. Who else? Michael. Nope. They brought in some draft picks. They also brought in Yaroslav Askarov early. As well. But yeah, so what are they? They're 17, 39, and 9, so yeah. Alright, the Kings are next. So I'm giving them an F. Oh, they brought in Vincent Descharnay too. The Kings brought in Andrei Kuzmenko, so that was it. They brought in Joey Saccone. There it is. That's the only 2 moves they made. I'm giving them a B-. Oh, they brought in Andrew. I don't know who that is. The Vegas Golden Knights did nothing, right? Did Vegas do anything? They brought back Riley Smith. They brought in, that's it. I'm giving them a B. Because, I mean, they did 1 move, and that was Riley Smith. The Kraken are next. I don't know if they did anything, surprisingly. I don't think they did. They brought in Brandon Tatum. No, they didn't. They brought in Michael Eismont. And for... That's it. So I'm giving them a D on them. And then our last team is going to be the Vancouver Canucks, in which I don't know if they did anything. I mean, obviously they traded JT Miller to the Rangers. That was it. That's what I remember. Oh, they brought in Marcus Pettersson, Drew O'Connor. They brought in Philip Hedl, Victor Mancini, Eric Brandstrom, and Jackson Dorrington. They brought in then they extended Marcus Pettersson, so that was awesome. But yeah, so that's pretty much it on that end of them. Did I do all the teams? Yep, I did all the teams good. Alright, so that is my annual trade deadline grades here. If you guys... Oh, I did forget to mention, I don't know if I did mention this, but the Avalanche brought in Brock Nelson too. If you guys like these kinds of videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, that notification bell, hit me up on Snapchat, add my socials in my bio. I will see you guys all in the next one for another video.